So, welcome to the Explainer. You know, when we hear the phrase rags to riches, our minds instantly jump to the classic American dream, right? We picture modern industrial titans, maybe tech innovators tinkering in their garages, or those self-made billionaires. But what if I told you the absolute greatest rags to riches story in human history didn't happen in America? And no, before you guess, this isn't about someone born into royalty, and there's definitely no massive inheritance here. Actually, we're looking at a story that went down in the harsh, demanding deserts of Arabia over 1,400 years ago. It's a story that completely rewrites the rulebook on what it means to build an empire from absolute scratch.
Okay, let's dive into this fascinating contrast. On one hand, we've got our modern American billionaires, guys like Andrew Carnegie or Warren Buffett. I mean, these are names synonymous with massive wealth, legendary work ethic, and, eventually, monumental philanthropy. We pretty much know their stories inside and out. But on the flip side, picture an unknown, ancient refugee making his way through the Arabian desert 14 centuries ago. We're going to frame his story using the exact same concept we deeply respect in our modern billionaires: incredible work ethic, unmatched entrepreneurship, and massive philanthropy. Except this all went down in a completely different world, under just unimaginably difficult circumstances.
Section 1, starting from absolute zero and the refugee's arrival. All right, so let me introduce you to the subject of today's explainer. His name is Abdur-Rahman, and to really grasp the sheer magnitude of his success, we first have to understand the absolute lowest of the lows from which he started. He was a refugee who arrived in a brand new city with literally nothing but the clothes on his back. I mean, let that sink in for a sec. When we talk about starting from zero today, we usually mean, an empty bank account. But maybe you still have a decent education, a network of friends, or some kind of safety net. Not Abdur-Rahman. He had zero capital, zero inventory, zero local connections. He was totally displaced, just wandering into this bustling ancient market city, completely dependent on the kindness of strangers. He is the literal definition of a blank slate in a really unforgiving environment. Let's move forward and see how this sets the stage for an unimaginable offer. So put yourself in Abdur-Rahman's shoes for a minute. You're exhausted, you're impoverished, and a local resident, someone who essentially has the status and resources of a modern-day billionaire, comes up to you and makes just an unbelievable offer. He says, "I will give you half of my own wealth just to help you out." Half? I mean, wow, this isn't just a small, friendly loan. This is an instant ticket to the elite class. It's literally the shortcut of a lifetime. Let's be real, most of us would take that deal in a heartbeat, wouldn't we? It's instant security and comfort after a grueling journey. But what Abdur-Rahman does next, well, that's exactly what elevates him from just a footnote in history to an absolute legend.
Section 2. Show me the marketplace and the ultimate hustle.
Faced with this ultimate shortcut to immense wealth, Abdur-Rahman makes a totally shocking decision. He flat out rejects the billionaire's charity. He just looks at him and delivers this absolute powerhouse of a response. Just show me where the marketplace is. How incredible is that? It's just bursting with sheer entrepreneurial spirit. He doesn't want a handout, he wants an opportunity. He doesn't want someone else's empire. No, he wants directions to the market so he can go build his own. This single sentence totally encapsulates a mindset of complete self-reliance and just unshakable confidence in his own abilities.
And this brilliantly illustrates the exact framework he used to actually build his massive business empire. It really boils down to 3 core pillars. Step 1, pure hustle. I mean, he took that raw, gritty determination from the exact moment he arrived and applied it relentlessly. Step 2, brilliant trade. He just had this innate understanding of commerce, supply and demand, and exactly how to navigate a bustling ancient economy. But it's step 3 that really truly secured his legacy: unmatched ethics. He didn't build his business through deception or taking advantage of people. His empire was built on a rock-solid foundation of absolute integrity. By combining these 3 elements, this once penniless refugee steadily transformed into a merchant king.
Section 3. The Billionaire Philanthropist and a Legacy of Giving.
Through sheer hustle and brilliant trade, Abdur-Rahman became wildly, unfathomably wealthy. But here is the major twist in the story. He didn't build this massive empire just to hoard all the gold. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that staggering figure, 30,000. That is the number of people he personally freed from slavery. I mean, just take a moment to process the historical weight of that. He used the massive wealth generated from his marketplace empire to literally buy the freedom of 30,000 human beings. To put that into perspective, that's enough people to fill an entire modern sports stadium. He leveraged his personal riches to systematically dismantle one of the greatest injustices of his time. This single point firmly establishes him as the greatest philanthropist of his era.
But honestly, his generosity didn't even stop there. When we step back and look at the full scale of his philanthropy, we see that not only did he free 30,000 people, but he actually funded entire cities out of his own pocket. Literally. When the community lacked resources, he became the infrastructure. When people were in desperate need, his business empire stepped up to serve as a vital social safety net. He built an entirely unprecedented legacy of community building. He basically took all the wealth he created in the marketplace and injected it straight back into the elevation of society. It's just phenomenal.
Section 4. The true measure of success and redefining wealth.
You know, what we've explored today isn't just some dusty historical recounting of a guy from 1400 years ago. It's actually a timeless blueprint for how we view entrepreneurship right now, today. It highlights a really fundamental debate we still have, accumulating wealth for yourself versus lifting up the lives of others. And Abdur-Rahman's life completely proved that true success has absolutely nothing to do with what you accumulate. It's really not about the size of the empire you hold on to. True, lasting success is measured entirely by the positive impact you have on your community. He showed us that the actual purpose of achieving financial greatness is to use it as a tool to lift up the lives of the people around you.
And that brings us to the end of today's explainer. But before we go, I want to leave you with this question to seriously think about. If true success isn't what you accumulate, how many lives will you lift up? Abdur-Rahman arrived with absolutely nothing, and he lifted up 30,000. He transformed a mindset of pure survival into a legacy of unprecedented generosity. It's just a mind-blowing story of one of history's greatest minds, and I really hope it changes the way you look at success, the hustle, and the true power of giving back. So keep learning, keep questioning, and I'll see you in our next explainer.